Comparing the U.S. Constitution, Bill of Rights, and Florida Constitution. Introduction. While the United States Constitution oversees numerous processes across the nation, each state has its regulations. One of the main parts of the U.S. Constitution is the Bill of Rights, BOR, which represents the main documents leading 10 amendments meant to secure people's liberties. The Constitution represents a basic framework of law for a country yet has fashioned federalism, with powers being diverged between the primary government and smaller territorial divisions. The Constitution of Florida has many similarities with the Bill of Rights guidelines, but the two documents differ in the details of those regulations. Comparing the legal documents. Religious freedom. A significant comparable aspect of the legal papers under examination concerns faith. The two constitutions and the Bill of Rights are similar in proposing the free exercise of religion as reflected in the BOR First Amendment, Florida Constitution Article 1 Section 3, and the U.S. Constitution First Amendment. A considerable difference is that the former document has an individual section for the rule, while the latter lists spiritual liberty within other rights. In addition, Florida's Constitution declares that religious freedom must not justify actions inconsistent with ethical norms or peace. Notably, many people believe that the recent pandemic's restrictions on social gatherings violate their constitutional privilege to spiritual freedom. Overall, the U.S. Constitution's Bill of Rights and the Constitution of Florida emphasize the role of religion. The use of firearms. Another element that is analogous between the reviewed official manuscripts concentrates on weaponry. Bill of Rights Second Amendment, Florida Constitution Article 1 Section 8, and the U.S. Constitution's Second Amendment announce that the citizens have the right to own and carry arms. Nonetheless, Florida's Constitution is different in specifying that such a privilege must be executed with defensive purposes. For example, in cases of physical aggression, defendants can invoke self-defense to avoid trial in Florida. The Constitution of Florida and the U.S. Constitution's BOR claim that individuals can harbor arms. Search and seizure. The next comparable aspect between the analyzed documents focuses on searches and seizures. The Bill of Rights Amendment 4, Florida Constitution Article 1 Section 12, and the U.S. Constitution Amendment 4 declare that a person and their belongings have the right to be secure against unreasonable searches and seizures. However, the Florida Constitution differs in noting that information obtained in infringement of liberty must not be admissible in evidence. The reviewed legal papers all prohibit unwarranted persecution of U.S. citizens. Privileges. One more analogous element between the two constitutions and the Bill of Rights concerns privileges that have yet to be mentioned. BOR Amendment 9, Florida Constitution Article 1 Section 1, and the U.S. Constitution Amendment 9 state that certain rights enunciation or enumeration must not be used to forbid or degrade people's other liberties. The only difference is that the Florida Constitution in Article 1 Section 1 proclaims the regulation with a specific focus on the nation having political power. For instance, while people retain their traditional freedoms, Florida emphasizes that those privileges are associated with authority. The analyzed legal papers provide clarification for individuals' rights. Conclusion. To conclude, the Constitution of Florida and the U.S. Constitution's Bill of Rights have similarities in the proposed guidelines but differ in some details. The examined official documents resemble the ideas of freedom of religion, arms, investigations and seizures, and other liberties. However, Florida's regulations have more attributes specifying various points that are not mentioned in the primary legal papers, thus reflecting federalism accepted in the country.